Hello from Snooker Tips. There's been a lot of controversy about this, so or controversy, depending where you're from. What I'm going to do, I'm going to put my cue down on there like that. Just drop it across the cushion like that. So you can see obviously the butt of the cue. I won't cue up on this correctly, but I'm just using this to demonstrate how I hold my grip. So I would grip the cue pretty much like a hammer, but not quite that tight. There's no real gripping going on. The forearm is nice and flexible here. Everything should move nice and smooth. When the cue comes back, can you see the grip opening? Okay, but these stay nice and tight. So the finger and thumb, the index finger here and the thumb, stay nice and tight. That is my grip. These fingers just literally wrap around the cue. Nothing more difficult than that. I don't squeeze on the grip. I don't continue to grip through the stroke or anything like this. I just literally, that is my grip there. That will not pull backwards and forwards, and I'm only using those two fingers. Look, you see that? It doesn't move unless I really slide it hard. So the idea is that I grip there, and these fingers literally just wrap around the cue. That means that my wrist is totally firm. My wrist doesn't move backwards and forwards like this. Look, it doesn't do that. My wrist stays solid. And that means that all the movement is from those fingers, you see? You see how it turns backwards and forwards? Look, you see what I mean? So how it's moving is like that. That becomes the pin that's holding the whole thing together. You see that turning? And then these fingers just wrap underneath, just until it feels comfortable. That way, my wrist doesn't have to move backwards and forwards like this. It automatically cocks the wrist. That's what it does. Oh, excuse me. So basically what I'm doing, and the reason I'm doing this is because so many people have asked, they're sort of getting sort of 30-40 break standard and they're failing in amongst the balls. And the only reason I can sort of, or one of the main reasons I would suggest that is going on is that they're getting a little bit too apprehensive about a shot, or they're wanting to put more power through, and they think by gripping it tighter will actually help them. What it's actually doing is creating tension, and if you create tension, the cue can't go through in a straight line. Just look at the cue moving backwards and forwards, just off them two fingers there. I mean, I have known people just use the centre fingers. They use the middle finger and the thumb, and then these fingers just wrap around. But personally, I use the index finger. And that is it's really strong. I mean, that is really strong. I can't pull the cue out unless I pull really quite tight. So you can get plenty enough tension there without needing the whole hand making a fist and your knuckles go all white. That is just what it shouldn't look like. And nothing else needs to move then. So you're holding it in those fingers like that. It moves nice and smooth backwards, and the wrist stays locked. It doesn't flex backwards and forwards like this, all the way through the shot, all the way through. And that keeps the cue nice and straight, nice and level, without me needing to grip hard on the cue or pull across it in any way. I hope you get it from this now. It is quite an important thing to do, because like I say, if you're on a tough shot and you think that you might be causing a bit of tension down through your arm, the one thing you mustn't do is squeeze tighter. But that is what everyone does. Eventually, everyone does that. They actually squeeze too tight, and that's why they miss the shot, because the cue then will pull off line in one way or another, out or in, depending whether you're twisting the wrist or you're lifting it up and down. Because of course, if you hold it tight like a vice, the cue can't move in a straight line. It must move up and down. Okay, because unless you're twisting the wrist. And that's just another variable you want to take out of your cue action. So try and keep your cue action as loose as possible, and that way you'll find that the cue will stay nice and straight and level all the way through the shot, all the way through. If you find that you are gripping too tight, a simple way of doing this, or a different way of how you would handle it, how you would practice it, is pick up a TV remote. You don't pick up a TV remote and grip the hell out of it, do you? That's exactly the same with your cue. You shouldn't be gripping it so tight you can't move the cue in your hand. Your cue should be able to slide in your hand. Only just, but my fingers, although they're they look like they're wrapped around the cue. Actually, they're not doing a damn thing. I could play without them. In fact, there are people who play with their fingers on the cue. But I've got to be honest, I wouldn't be doing that. It makes everything a little bit too floppy. Gripping it too tight like a vice, then you're moving your shoulder or your elbow or your wrist to make the cue stay level. So you want to take that variable out of it. Hold it nice and firm, just between the index finger, the palm, so it sits in the palm, like so, and then just wraps around. And so long as you wrap it around, that is all the movement you need. Nothing else is needed. These fingers just drop on it. Sometimes you might see me play shots, and my little finger is actually way off the cue. That's just a little thing that seems to have happened to me, because I don't really think I need my little finger. You know, it's just one of those things. What I'm going to show you here is how the grip actually functions during the shot. Hopefully we can get this just like so. This is just a standard shot, nothing spectacular about this. And all I'm going to do is I'm just going to literally lean on the table and pay special attention to my grip, how my grip opens and closes, but also that I'm only using my index finger and my thumb to grip around the cue. Okay. I hope you find a way that you can see this. Let's take you further back. Take you back there somewhere. It should be right. There's the shot. And as you can see, my grip is probably just moving backwards and forwards, but my wrist isn't going backwards and forwards. My wrist stays locked. So that is my pivot. It pivots there, like that, you see. These fingers just wrap around, nice and slow, nice and gently, just to control the cue, the movement of the cue. That's all it's for. And then you push, and out it comes. I'll show you that just once more. I'm aiming to play this quite a distance, obviously, so you can see the butt of the cue, so I'm stretching across the table, which I wouldn't normally do. A little bit too far, actually, if I'm honest. There's the shot there. See, the cue is opening and closing. And really, I'm not opening and closing my fingers. My fingers basically don't do anything, because all I'm doing is gripping here with the index finger and the thumb. And the butt sits in my palm. And it's not really doing anything. And then you pull back, and then as you go forward, you start going forward slowly, and it pivots. It's the pivot. And then push through. I hope you get it from that now. Bye-bye from Snooker Tips.